Conspiracy. Good. Good. What's Hans WormHat doing? Top 10 fake animals. Alright.
Hans WormHat. This is a video on the top 10 fake animals. And so we'll start with 10. The anaconda. Have you guys ever been to the zoo or some other place with reptiles, and they'll have these giant snakes that just sit there and they never move?
Hans, they're cold-blooded. They don't move as much as warm-blooded animals because they get their, like... Oh, God.
It's just a fake snake, and so many photos like this exist out there that are just ludicrous, obvious.
Hans, you can find anacondas. Anaconda video. This is gonna be the... No, okay. Anaconda.
Up to 25
you can literally
feet long
see videos of them
and
moving.
Can weigh more than 300 pounds.
You can also go to zoos and see them moving. I've seen them move at the zoo before.
To support its bulk, anacondas spend almost all of their time in...
Tom G 1010011011010 with 45-bit says, I find it interesting that we were each in our own places reacting to Hannah, reacting to Jeremy, reacting to content posted to a subreddit by others who did so as a reaction to finding it themselves. Yeah. The internet's stupid.
And around water.
Anyway, so animals are real. I think we've established this.
CGI. One of the big memes with the fake animals is they like to make things larger than life. It's part of movie magic. Have you ever heard how when people meet celebrities in real life, they're like, wow, I had no idea they were so short. And it's because movie magic. Using angles, using movie magic, anything, CGI these days.
Okay, but that's not CGI. That's like when they shoot Tom Cruise, they'll put the camera lower or they'll put him up on something so he looks taller. That's not CGI. And it's also different than creating an entirely fictional creature, Hans. Mock Turtleneck with 100 bits. They brought an anaconda to my school once, like back in 3rd grade, as a zookeeper brought one to a Girl Scouts meeting and they moved. What the fuck is he talking about? It's a good question.
They love to make things larger than life, blow them out of proportion, and sell you a story. The anaconda is one of those. Some of them are just mock-up, fake reptiles. It's even a gag. You know how that's like one of the things that you can buy in a gag store, like fake snakes, a fake rubber snake. So they just make these huge ones.
Yeah, Hans, that's a thing because people are afraid of snakes. So you, like, take a snake and you hide it somewhere and it's like, ooh, you freaked out because you thought there was a snake. Like, Hans, there are little toy dogs, too. That doesn't mean dogs aren't real. There are little toy squirrels. It doesn't mean squirrels aren't real. You can make plastic toys out of things that are also real.
And put it in an aquarium type setting in a zoo or something, take you into these dark cave area, and it just doesn't move. It just sits there because it's a rubber snake. Seriously, if you look up anaconda, this is what you get. You get a bunch of stuff that looks like this. They don't even try. It's funny. They go over the top. There are so many anaconda things that look exactly like this.
Hans, Anaconda, well, that is the movie Anaconda. That's not a real snake because that one's from a movie, Hans.
J-Lo. Anaconda was a big movie. So another big thing with...
Was Anaconda that big of a movie? I know, like, I'm aware of it, but I don't know how big of a movie it was.
They're fake animals, is they love to make movies about it.
Hans, just because the movie Air Bud exists doesn't mean dogs aren't real, right? You understand that? You can make a movie about things that exist. Like most movies star human beings, it doesn't mean human beings don't exist.
It's just the same way about how psyops, they make them come to life by making a movie about it. Same thing with fake animals. Oh, make a movie about it. Anaconda was huge. This was one of the big movies back in the day.
I don't know about that. Let me see. Anaconda box office? It only made $136 million. I don't know what its budget was. Is there a budget somewhere in here? The Wikipedia might be better on that. Anaconda is a 1997 American adventure film directed by Louis Losa and starring J-Lo, Ice Cube, John Voight, Eric Stoltz, Jonathan Hyde, and Owen Wilson. That's quite a cast. It focuses on a documentary film crew in the Amazon rainforest that is captured by a snake hunter who is hunting down a giant legendary green anaconda. The film received mixed reviews, but was a box office success. It grossed $136 million on a budget of $45 million. That was pretty good. That's not bad. What year did this come out? 97? I don't really remember. I was only 4, so.
J-Lo is the anaconda. Do you want to know what that?
What? No, she's a person in the movie. This is the anaconda. It's right here.
Anaconda is? It's right here. That's the anaconda. This beast.
What?
J-Lo's anaconda.
Oh my god, the transvestigation stuff. It's the dumbest.
Okay, 9. 9 on the list. I chose the shoebill because this came out of nowhere. It's just a CGI creation. Do you guys remember when the shoebill first appeared on the scene?
Hans, just because one day you discovered an animal existed doesn't mean it didn't exist prior to that. Hans, you understand that you don't know every animal on the planet, right? No one does. There's a ridiculous number of them. No one knows every single animal that exists. So one day, just because you're doing a Google search or something and you happen across an animal you've never seen before, it doesn't mean it's new. It means it's a new thing to you.
People in the comments would say that doesn't look real. It looks like CGI. That doesn't look like a real animal.
It looks like a real animal. What are you talking about? Shoebill. Look at Hans. This is the same picture. It just looks like a fucking bird. It's just a bird. You can find video. Let's look at some video of a shoebill.
To catch.
There you go. It's a real feckin' bird, Hans. You can find, just look at all these videos. There's 10 pages of videos, probably more, 11, 20, 30. There's 32 pages on Google of shoebill videos, Hans.
And
Jousters end with 15 bits. Nah, totally fake.
and I think some of them are puppets. Puppetry is a huge part of this fake animal thing. And you can go research fake animal puppets. The Aflac duck is just a duck puppet, and they touch it up with CGI.
Hans, that's because it's used for a commercial. It's a commercial? Do you understand the difference between real life and advertising?
There's YouTube videos of Komodo dragon puppets. Yeah, I don't talk about that in this video, but there's a lot of puppetry involved.
Hans, Komodo dragons are real. I've literally seen them at the zoo. They exist.
But these days, a lot of CGI. So shoebill is number 9 on the list. Fake animal.
Dodo birds existed, Hans. They're just dead now. They're all dead. We killed them. And frankly, Hans, why would they make up dodos and not have puppets of them if they were just making up a bunch of animals? Why would they make up an animal just to say that they're extinct? That doesn't even make sense within the internal logic of your own worldview.
Number 8, I wanted to give something historical. The dodo bird. This didn't just start happening, these fake animals. They fake everything. They lie about everything. I don't know why animals are this, it's this sacred cow.
Hans, have you considered that you're a paranoid, delusional person who thinks that everything is fake despite the obvious evidence to the contrary?
Topic. And for me, it's a huge
And yes, chat, I agree. Hans, to what end? To what end? What would anyone benefit by making up fake animals? What would the point be?
indication of if you're dealing with a gatekeeper or not, if they're willing to talk on this subject, the fake animal thing. I don't know why it's such a heavily gatekept topic, because to me it's similar to the outer space stuff, outer space lies.
Here's a link to this video, by the way.
In that they're trying to sell you stuff to take you away from God. I'll get to that in the end. And they're trying to mock the
How
Bible.
would the existence of a dodo bird relate to religion in any way, Hans? Explain that to me.
Similar to the outer space stuff. But this animal thing. People don't want to admit that they've been duped, and gatekeepers really gatekeep this fake animal stuff. I don't know exactly why. They like being in on the secret. They like being in on these inside jokes. So here is number 7. Giant anteaters are definitely a hoax. A winning entry from the Wildlife Photograph of the Year competition has been disqualified after it was discovered the photo was of a stuffed animal. What do you know?
Hans, if what you're saying was true, why would they disqualify someone for a fake photo if all of them were fake? That makes no sense, dummy. If it was a conspiracy, they'd be like, yes, we've done this. We've made a fake photo, like always. Why would they say, wait a minute, this one's fake? That doesn't make any sense. Giant anteater. And by the way, they said it was stuffed, not fake. You know taxidermy exists, right? I imagine it was a taxidermy. Jesus. And taxidermies are made of the corpses of real animals.
A photograph of a taxidermy anteaters. All great anteaters like this, they're taxidermy or suits that...
Hans, you idiot! Taxidermy is taking the skin of a dead animal that is real and putting it over basically a sculpture in order to make it look like a living one. Taxidermy, by definition, is of real animals. You idiot. You're so bad. Hans.
Actors can go in. A human can fit in this suit. Look at that. It's like a Cirque du Soleil fake animal.
What does that mean? Cirque du Soleil is like a French artsy circus performance. What?
Look at this amazing shot. 5 scientists all concluded the anteater was too similar to a taxidermy specimen.
Yes, it's a taxidermy specimen, Hans. Meaning, the anteater's skin was off of a real living anteater, and then they skinned it, made a sculpture, sometimes out of styrofoam, sometimes out of other stuff, and then put the skin over it and sewed it up. If it is taxidermied, by definition, it has real animal parts on it. Do you not know what taxidermy means, Hans? It wouldn't surprise me, because you don't seem to know what a lot of things are in the real world.
Notice how they love to... Their experts are the most amazing, super smart. They had 5 experts that could look at this and determine, no, that's too similar to a taxidermy version. What?
Yes, they said, hey, we recognize this pose because taxidermy doesn't move, it's dead. They said this pose is exactly the same as a taxidermy specimen, meaning this person got this taxidermy specimen and one of two things happened. They either literally took it outside and put it up on this thing and took a picture, or they photoshopped it in here. But regardless of how they did it, this was a taxidermy specimen, meaning the skin came from a real giant anteater. That's what taxidermy is. Look it up.
I think they just realized that this was like over the top. Okay, this is over the top, obvious Photoshop. We're gonna, I don't know. And also, they like to disclose. So this is just a form of disclosure.
That one, Hans, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And you've said a lot of the stupidest things I've ever heard. Hans, if it were a big conspiracy, why would they disclose it? That makes no sense. How are this cabal both the most powerful force on the planet, and also they disclose this stuff for some reason? Think before you speak. I know that's probably a hard habit for you to get into since you've never done it in your entire life, but give it a shot. Solo May Cry, thank you for following. I'm very frustrated with Hans today.
Just total disclosure. They're telling you, taxidermy, fake animals.
That's not what, that's the opposite of what taxidermy is, Hans. Taxidermy. Taxidermy is the art of preserving an animal's body via mounting or stuffing for the purpose of display and study. It's preserving a real animal, Hans. Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, so number 6 on the list. Do you see where this is going? Rope climbing robots. Sloths are not real animals.
Yes, they are. Let's look at sloths, shall we? Sloths. Videos. Look at this sloth. Hans, there's not a robot on the planet that could do this and look like this. Robotics are not that impressive, and we've known about sloths and have video of sloths for decades and decades. Hans, you absolute maroon, please get your head out of your butt and stop thinking everything is a conspiracy.
They're animatronics, and people like David Attenborough are big phonies. They're actors.
Hans, I know that you're self-conscious because you've done nothing with your life except make ridiculous videos with very few views. How long have you been on YouTube and you only have under 3,000 subscribers? It's sad, Hans. Stop taking your insecurity out on people who've done things with their lives, like David Attenborough, you absolute monster.
And the reason that they're so acclaimed for their acting skills is because their ability to make it seem like they're taking it so serious. Their ability to sit in front of an animatronic and sell it like it's a real, living, breathing animal. That's why these people get so revered and knighted, and because they're big phony deceivers.
No, it's because they're amazing conservationists who advocate for the natural world in which we live, who show people and through documentaries are able to present to people the beauty of the natural world in which we live and why we should preserve it. It's not a conspiracy, Hans.
Sloths are a big one. I mean, just look, that's CGI. You can just tell that's CGI. Sometimes I've seen some sloth images that it's clearly someone like took a picture of their dog's face and put it in here, and then they tell people it's a sloth.
What?
Look at that. This is coming out of Guinness World Records. Life in the slow lane. It just happens to be laying back like on a recliner or
Yeah, that's why they took the picture, Hans, because it's a really cool picture.
something. That's CGI. That's not a real animal.
Do you have any evidence of that? Because you understand that stating a claim is not evidence in and of itself. Because it doesn't look like CGI. It looks like a sloth laying on a tree branch.
That's just an animatronic. Look how strange. It's a robot. It looks exactly like these robots. Look, it's like somebody took this and then put a skin over it. It's not a living animal. And why does it look so different? It looks so rigid. And then these ones are super smooth and
Once I'm done dealing with Hans, I'll raid you, Jake.
curvy. It's because this one's CGI and this one's a robot. They just have these robots that cling to things. Raquel is working from home. Look at these tree climbing robots. Bringing us to number 5 on the list. Koalas. This was a big viral pushed video on YouTube, and you can clearly see it's CGI. That's not a real animal. This video is just obvious CGI. And yeah, koalas are a fake animal. That's why these look like really bad puppets made of wool. Koalas are a bit, people from Australia gatekeep this so bad. There's big time YouTube alleged truthers that they refuse to admit that these are just stuffed.
Because they're not, Hans, because they're real animals, and once again you can find countless photos and videos, amateur and professional, that demonstrate that they are real. Hans, you psycho.
Even though it's clear that they're stuffed. Giving you the one eye. Koalas are a hoax. If you go look at photos of koalas, their hands are just totally rigid. They don't grip objects. They just have like flat pancake hands. Anyways, this video is more about making this list, the top 10 list. I don't want to get into any one specific thing too much. There was this viral koalas in the car, and everybody could tell that they were stuffed. They were like, they're not moving. One of them like barely twitches.
Family rescues multiple let me see if I can find this. Family rescues multiple koalas. Oh, okay, sorry. Koalas. Here is the video he's talking about. Wait, let me see if I can find the original.
Doing a little koala rescue.
They're literally moving, Hans. Look at this one down here. You can see it move.
Koala rescue. She's a mother with a baby. And I'm cuddling. Just trying to collect as many live ones as we can.
You fucking psycho.
And everybody's like, no, look at that one, it barely twitches. They're all alive. That one just had a little bit of battery left, I guess. Enough.
Hey, idiot. No. You would need to demonstrate that koalas are fake when there are countless videos of koalas. Jesus. I can't believe I gotta deal with this stupid person. Stop with the Nat Geo videos. I just want YouTube.
You know, when people think about climate change, over 1 billion backyards into the streets looking
There's
for
a
some
koala.
habitat to survive in. When they panic, they climb up a tree.
We charred from the fire.
It has come. Not even.
Here's a koala.
100 grams every single day, but it doesn't give them much energy, so they're not very excited creatures. They actually sleep for up to 22 hours a day, and a lot of that time is spent...
You just joined the quartering Discord and searched for slurs and already found 140 uses of the F slur. What a shock.
To do a little ear twitch. But look, they're dead. They're taxidermy. It's taxidermy. It's a big taxidermy.
Hans! Taxidermy by definition means it's real animals, you idiot! Once again, stop using words when you don't know what these words mean!
Hoax. I think are we already on number 4? Penguins. The emperor penguins, the orange emperor penguins, the ones that they make movies about, the South Pole, it's not icy Antarctica. There's a lot of hoaxery when it comes to Antarctica. And emperor penguins. Emperor is 33. And they're animatronics. That's why you don't see
Hans, that one is because it's for the Tim Burton film, Batman Returns. But you can see real or not koalas. You can see real penguins. Have you not been to the zoo, Hans? Have you been to SeaWorld? You shouldn't, because they treat their animals terribly, especially their whales. But I've been to SeaWorld when I was younger. I've seen penguins. They fucking exist, Hans.
emperor penguins in the zoo. Except for nowadays they do, but they put them far in the back, or you'll just see a few CGI videos. That they sold with the movie Jaws. Larger than life movie magic. That's what it's a.
Yeah, great white sharks exist. What else we got? I'm gonna fast forward just because I can't deal with how stupid Hans is. Pandas. Pandas exist, Hans. You can see videos of them once again, and just shouting CGI doesn't mean you've provided evidence that it is CGI. What else we got? Orangutans. They exist, Hans. Once again. You can find videos of them. I've seen orangutans as well. And gorillas. Gorillas also exist.
Suit up on the ISS. And by up on the ISS, I mean down under, underwater in the ISS, because that's the only place it is, in a pool. There is no outer space. There's a meme of dicks out for haram, because it's just a known thing. Gorillas don't have penises. They're...
Hans, gorillas have penises. I can't Google this on Twitch because that would be TOS, but gorillas do have penises. Fun fact, gorilla testicles are smaller than human testicles. That's true. Look it up.
They just didn't make them, I don't know. They didn't want to make the suits with penises back in the day, so now they just had to run with it.
Okay, so let me get this straight, Hans. Jousters end with 10 bits. Harambe! Yes. Hans, you think that in, I don't know, literally all of human history, when we've seen gorillas, you think they were going, oh boy, we want to fake this animal, but we're not going to put a penis on there because we're prudes. We're both Illuminati, but we're also prudes. What? The dicks out for Harambe meme is a joke because it's ridiculous. You can Google gorilla penis. I'm not gonna do it because, once again, it would be Twitch TOS, but you can find pictures of big ol' gorilla dongs.
If you just go start looking for gorilla suit stuff, though, you'll see.
Yes, if you specifically type in gorilla suits, because there have been movies in which people have put on gorilla suits because it's easier to deal with a person than a gorilla. The existence of gorilla suits does not mean gorillas are fake. I can go, Hans, for Halloween, I can go buy a nun costume and wear it. I'm not really a nun, but just because I'm wearing the costume and costumes of it exist doesn't mean nuns don't actually exist. You can make costumes of real things.
You'll see. That's the same thing. It's the same thing at the zoo. Doing a hand sign there. It's the same thing as the zoo. It's the same thing on the...
Hans is the most frustrating dumb person on the planet, I
it's all out
swear.
there. They've disclosed it. Gorillas building. There are people who their job...
Echidna! Dude spanking dudes. Hey, so what if I'm dressed as a nun? It's none of your business. Echidnas also exist.
That probably should have made the top 10 list, but this current thing was from a pen.
They exist.
The size fish they
I don't know
catch
what
forever.
the fuck this thing
Fish
is.
tails. This is a BS lie that BBC and PBS told you, and Nat Geo or whatever. There aren't millions and millions and millions of species.
There are, Hans. There are.
There's not that many species, and there's enough to fit on the ark.
No, Hans. No, that's not the case. Even if, and by the way, there are tons of problems with the Noah's Ark story, if you take it as literal instead of figurative. But the fact that there isn't enough room on the Ark is one of many issues. I wouldn't even call it the main issue. For instance, the Ark, the world is flooded for like a year. It's like 11 months. Because it just keeps raining and raining and raining. Or no, it rains for 30 days and 30 nights, which is why, you know, people know that phrase. But in the Bible, it says that the water doesn't recede for like a year. It's like 11 months. Hans, you can't have a world entirely covered in water for 11 months and have the plant life survive. There's not enough water in the atmosphere or on the planet in order to flood the entire Earth for 11 months. For any amount of time, there isn't enough water on the planet in order to cover all of Earth's land masses.
Evolution is fake. You didn't come from a monkey.
Hans, you're not a monkey. You are a great ape and a hominid. Hominids are apes. We are. I'm sorry that upsets you, but it is the case. I'm sorry you're a little snowflake that can't deal with the reality of the situation, but that is the truth.
Great apes are actors in fursuits.
No, they're not.
This is the reason, which to me, it's as obvious as the outer space lie. They make the outer space lie to make you believe in a fantasy where God isn't real. That's what they want you to believe. In a fantasy where you don't need God. And that's the same thing with the monkey. They're selling you a fake creation story. And if you can see the deception of the fursuits, you see it. See it for what it is. Praise God. God created all the animals. And God made man in his image. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. And I forgot to mention zebras. They're painted that way. It's not.
No, they're not. You can watch zebra birth videos. Again, I'm not going to watch them on Twitch because of TOS. But you can literally watch a zebra being born, and it has stripes on it. Stone Corbell with 100 bits. The Deception of the Fursuits is the name of my next indie film. Yeah, so it's stupid. Hans, please stop. Your paranoid delusions are the most ridiculous kind of nonsense. And you make yourself look like an idiot every time you put out a new video, so please stop.